Hi, my name is Nick Steiert.
And I'm Ansel Cook, and this is
The Great Oxidation Event. So, of course, we had to compare the Great Oxidation Event to the Protestant Reformation, as these cells will no longer stand for single-cell chromosomes and lack of organelles.
Our atmosphere has not always been oxygen-rich. The first species to even occupy the Earth did not rely on oxygen in the way modern species do. The oxygenated world we live in today can be attributed to the Great Oxidation Event.
In the Archean era, oxygen was in short supply everywhere. Above the green oceans, the atmosphere was mostly nitrogen-rich like it is today, along with water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane.
The Great Oxidation Event can be attributed to the movement of the Earth's surfaces. Prior to the Great Oxidation, plate tectonics shifted and new volcanoes emerged. These new volcanoes produced carbon dioxide, which in turn produced a warm Earth climate and more minerals pushed into the oceans. These events lead to an increase in population of carbonates and cyanobacteria. This is where the oxygen came from. The rise in the population of these species increased the photosynthesis production, leading to a boost in oxygen abundance. It is a long domino effect that produced oxygen, but the many working parts helped produce an oxygen-rich environment until the Lomagundi event, which decreased oxygen levels.
2.3 billion years ago, the Great Oxidation Event occurred, and modern geologists were able to examine these effects in the rock layers. However, the oxidation had a large impact on the nitrogen cycle. These detailed records document the immediate onset of a modern-style nitrate-driven ecosystem, appearing simultaneously with the first evidence of oxygen in the atmosphere.
The first organisms that were able to perform oxygenic photosynthesis, such as cyanobacteria, began to produce molecular oxygen in large quantities, 2.8 billion years before the Great Oxidation Event. This oxygen slowly emerged in the atmosphere and ocean, but since there became so much oxygen, it became lethal towards the dominant anaerobic microorganisms at the time.
While the first organisms began to produce oxygen in large quantities, the oxygen had chemical reactions in the oceans. It reacted mainly with iron and minerals such as magnetite and hematite, and caused water, which until then had been green, to lose its iron and green color. Proof of this is shown in ancient rocks that contained huge banded iron formations from the oxidation of iron in the oceans.
For the first time in Earth history, large amounts of free oxygen started building up in the Earth's atmosphere. This was a huge transition. The climate changed drastically over time, and there was a huge glaciation.
Currently, oxygen makes up around 21% of Earth's atmosphere. Prior to the Great Oxidation Event, Earth's atmosphere was maybe 1/100% of the atmosphere. The change in oxygen was a drastic one, and it is evident in the evolution of oxygen-breathing life forms. Thank you.
Bye.